What is going on, you guys? It's your girl Diana, back at you with another YouTube video. So if you follow me on Twitch, you would know that I have recently been doing playthroughs of the original Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green games, which if you're not following me on Twitch, go ahead and do that, because the Twitch streams are pretty fun. But because of that, as you can imagine, me and the rest of the Twitch chat have been coming across some pretty terrifying Gen 1 sprites. And let's just say that compared to some of these Gen 1 sprites, the Pokemon that we have in the modern games look like something that Da Vinci himself crafted. So because of this, I was inspired to make today's video, which is what I think are the top 10 worst 2D sprites. Don't worry though, the modern games are not safe either, since I will be doing a part 2 where I go over what I think are the top 10 worst 3D versions in the modern games. But if you would like to see what I think are the top 10 worst 2D Pokemon, then just keep on watching. And of course, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe because it helps you girl out. And give this video a thumbs up if you are a Pokemon fan so that we can push it out into the YouTube algorithm so that more Pokemon fans can see it and we can all hang out together. And if you would like another way to support the channel so that I can keep making fun content for you guys, feel free to check out my merch store. I have all kinds of fun stuff on there, from hoodies to hats to joggers to even some stickers and even a mug with my signature quote on it. But enough of my shameless self-promo, let's go ahead and hop into the top 10 worst 2D sprites. So starting off at number 10, we're gonna ease into this list with Marowak. Now when most people think of Marowak, they probably think of this rendition of it, or its Alolan counterpart, which is my personal favorite because I like the flames. And I like that it's a little bit of an edgier look, and I'm a sucker for a good ghost type. But if you're playing the Gen 1 games and you happen to make it to the top of the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town, you're gonna run into this.
Whose horse is that?
Now listen, I know that there is far worse sprites in Gen 1. That's why we're putting this one at number 10. It's definitely not the worst. But to me, this isn't really giving Marowak, it's giving more moose. Like, you can't tell me that doesn't look like a moose. Maybe it's just the way that it's holding its bone in this sprite, but it's definitely not giving Marowak. I would say it looks more akin to a Kangaskhan, which don't even get me started on that theory. I've heard it, don't worry. But I just think that they could have tried a little bit harder. Like, you can't even tell that its head is a skull. But like I said, it's not the worst. So we're starting off easy. Now coming in at number 9 is Blastoise. Now this one pains me to put it on this list since Squirtle is one of my favorite starters, and Blastoise just looks cool in general. I mean, we have his base form that everyone's familiar with, his Mega form, and now even his Dynamax form, and they all look sick. But in Gen 1, instead of getting a tanky turtle, we get roly-poly-oly over here. I just want to speak to whoever approved this final concept for this sprite, because we start off okay. Squirtle looks decent, Wartortle looks okay, and then we get this? He doesn't even look remotely similar to them. I truly think that they did take inspiration from a roly-poly because you can't tell me the similarities are not shocking. And unfortunately, I have to stare at this thing for the rest of my Green playthrough since I'm using Green's team from the Pokemon Adventures manga. So now I'm stuck with this roly-poly. But at least he's got a sassy look on his face, I'll give him that. Coming in at number 8, I have to go with yet another starter, Venusaur. Now look, Venusaur, he's not the prettiest looking Pokemon out there. He's kind of like a warty dinosaur frog thing with a giant flower on his back. But at least he looks like a strong Pokemon now, and he's actually proportional, as opposed to in Gen 1, it looks like somebody literally stepped on him. Insert a clip of Mushu getting stepped on by the horse in the Mulan movie. Like, why is he built like that? His legs are so far apart that it looks like he literally drags himself on the floor. He basically has no lower back, and instead of a flower, he's got a whole tree on him. But I mean, who knows? Maybe they were going for a lowrider effect. Now, it pains me to say this, but at number 7 on this list, we have my favorite pseudo-legendary Dragonite. So from what I can remember, Dragonite has pretty much looked the same ever since I saw him in the Giant Dragonite episode in the anime. And honestly, I have no complaints when it comes to his design. It's pretty simple, you can tell it's a dragon, and he's cute. Is it the most creative design? No. But if you look at it compared to what it used to look like, I think you would pick its modern day rendition over whatever that just was. For starters, why are his wings literally the size of like a Zubat's? Something tells me that this guy can't fly very well. His head also looks like it's about to snap off of his body because it's so big in proportion to his neck, and let's not forget about his tiny little T-Rex hands. They really did my boy dirty in Gen 1. Coming in at number 6, we have Executor. Now in my opinion, it's kind of hard to mess up Executor's design. I mean, it's literally supposed to be a palm tree. And we have its regular form where it's kind of like a stumpy palm tree with its little egg heads. And then we have its Alola form where it's like a regular tall palm tree with, again, its little egg heads. But in Gen 1, we get Thomas the Engine with fangs. Like, somebody tell me how this is supposed to look like a palm tree. You can't even tell if the things coming out from the bottom of it are legs or hands. Not to mention the faces on those eggs nightmare fuel. This sprite is one of the most cursed sprites that I have seen. And a disservice to all palm trees, because if I was a palm tree, I would be offended if that's what they thought I looked like. At number 5, I have to go with Wigglytuff. I know what you're thinking. How could they possibly mess up a Wigglytuff when it literally just looks like a pink jelly bean with ears? And to that, I'm going to answer with this monstrosity. Looks like Wigglytuff has seen some things. Or maybe tried some things. I just really want to know why its eyes are 2 different sizes. That's really just the deciding factor here with this one, because the rest of it, like I said, it's literally a pink jelly bean. I mean, could they have made it a little less, I don't know, round? Yes. Could they make the ears a little bit bigger? For sure. But it's the eyes. The eyes are what do it for me. And I don't think that even if they did anything differently to its body, that they would be able to salvage this sprite just because its eyes literally look so crazy. At number 4, I have to put everyone's favorite Gen 1 starter, Charizard. Now everybody knows and loves Charizard. I mean, its base form is literally iconic. When you think of Pokemon, you literally think of Charizard. Its 2 mega forms look great. I might be a little biased towards one if you catch my drift with my plushie in the back. And its Dynamax looks cool too. But along the same theme as Wigglytuff, what's happening with his eyes? Not only that, but they literally took away my boy's whole hand. He's got one hand. I mean, it's not a good looking hand, but the other one is literally just 2 triangles. And those dogs? I mean, come on. I just want some justice for my boy Charizard. He didn't deserve this. This version of Charizard is definitely giving more donkey than, you know, fire-breathing dragon lizard. But at least they made up for it later on. We have now made it to the top 3 worst sprites out of the list. And at number 3, we're going with Moltres. Not only are we used to seeing Moltres as a majestic phoenix-like firebird, but we also have its Galarian form now, which is one of my favorite Galarian Pokemon, and I literally have it on my team. But back in the day, we got a sleeping turkey. Me and the Twitch chat literally joke about this thing being Kentucky Fried Chicken or like spicy chicken, because it looks more like a chicken or a turkey than it does a majestic legendary Pokemon. I would accept this sprite for like Fearow, because who likes Fearow? I mean, it literally looks more like Fearow than Moltres, but this is a legendary Pokemon we're talking about, and this is the best you could come up with? A sleeping chicken? Please. At number 2 on this list, we have Golbat. And you know what's unfortunate about Golbat is that it's literally everywhere. So not only do you have to see the sprite like once or twice during the game, you literally see it every time you go into a cave. And modern day Golbat looks okay. I mean, he's still annoying, but he looks alright. But Gen 1 Golbat? I'll just leave this here for you to look at and for it to be ingrained in your memory for the rest of your life, because what is that? He looks deranged. I just really want to know the logic behind this one and why they thought, yeah, let's put this in a kid's game and let's have it pop up like every 10 steps while kids are lost in a cave. I didn't have the pleasure of playing the Gen 1 games when I was young because I was too young to play them, but I can guarantee that if I was a kid and I saw that pop up on my Game Boy screen, I would be terrified, scarred, and would probably not play the game anymore. So I think out of almost everyone that I've mentioned, this is one of the most well-deserved to be on this list. And topping off the list at number 1, I'm sure nobody's gonna be surprised by this one, it has to be my favorite Gen 1 mythical, Mew. Now, I've been obsessed with Mew ever since Pokemon the first movie came out because it's adorable. It's a little pink psychic cat. It's everything that I dreamed of as a kid. But in Gen 1, drumroll please, it looks like your sleep paralysis demon. I can't even begin to try to guess what this is supposed to look like because it doesn't look like anything. It looks like a worm, an alien, I don't know. It looks like something, but whatever it is, it ain't right. I thought Mewtwo was supposed to be the ugly one, but no. Apparently in Gen 1, it's Mew, which is so sad because look at how cute Mew can be. Like, you're gonna tell me that you made it look like that when it could have looked like this? Jail. Straight to jail. Straight to jail for the rest of your life. Why would you create this abomination of a sprite? So that is gonna be my list for the top 10 worst 2D sprites. Now listen, I get it. For the technology that they had, they tried their best, but I think they could have tried a little bit harder with some of these, especially Mew. But let me know what you guys think are the worst 2D sprites down in the comments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it entertaining. Of course, this is all just my opinion. It's okay if you have a different opinion than me, and obviously I want to hear your opinion, so sound off in the comments. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you would like to check out the merch, feel free to do that. There's a link down below, and of course all my socials are down below as well if you do want to follow along on my journey of playing all of the Gen 1 games on Twitch. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.